articles when I was a reporter and for some columns too. I've interviewed Tom Skilling. He's everything you see on television and more. His passion for weather is unrivaled. I actually one time interviewed a Canadian meteorologist for a goofy thing I was writing about Canada sending bad weather our way or something, and I mentioned Tom Skilling, and he was like, "You know Tom Skilling? What?" He's like, "Oh my God!" I mean, it was like I had just said that I used to hang out with Led Zeppelin or something like that. So I contacted Tom about this event. He, of course, immediately all in, and without further ado, WGN meteorologist and great guy, Tom Skilling.
Oh, talk about great guys. You know, when my artist, Jennifer Conkey, worked in the editorial, she does the newsmakers' faces, drawings of them. She's incredibly talented, and she works on our weather page. And when she heard Rex Hupke was doing this, she went crazy. Rex is amazing. You know what I found out? Rex is an alumnus of Lehigh University, and that's where my dad went. I didn't know that. And Rex, what did you major in? He majored in chemical engineering, and yet I think he's one of the brightest columnists on the scene today. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you, you should be very proud of this community. What a turnout. And by the way, apologies for the weather over which I have absolutely no control, as you can see. This notion that inviting a weather forecaster to an event like this means the sun's going to shine clearly doesn't work. Look, it is an honor to be here today. Rex's column on Jonathan Caden and on Karen Maloney's response was amazing when I read it at the time. Is there anyone among us who doesn't know a family member or a friend, or has lost a family member or a dear friend or a friend of a friend to suicide? Is there anyone who hasn't been profoundly sad to the point that taking our own life hasn't at least crossed our mind? Can any of us even begin to fathom how intense the pain must be of somebody who has carried those thoughts to the final act? To have someone we know and love reach such a point of sadness and depression defies description. We have family members here for whom this horror isn't just an abstract concept. It is all too real. They've lived the horror. And they tap a reservoir of inner strength that I think few of us have to shed light on this subject and to educate all of us to the fact that it's real and we must take this seriously. Like so many issues, we learn more about what brings suicide on with each passing year, and thankfully there are angels among us like Karen Maloney who face an issue like suicide and turn the sadness, loss, and grief into energy which informs and educates, which is what we're doing today. And we use forums like this to communicate our love to the family and to anybody who's lost anybody to suicide, and let them know that we feel your pain. And Karen, thank you for what you do. And also, thanks to Johnny Borcher, thanks to Ron Roscoe and Ron Roscoe Enterprise for the music, to the Naperville Fire Department, to Cub Scout Pack 507, who I've worried about standing in the rain here, to Tim Tilton, Cubmaster, to Jeff Wade, Scoutmaster, to Deacon Scott Pace. Deacon, you've got to talk to somebody about this weather. Thank you. To Naperville Central High's Corrals, what beautiful voices. To Steve Sharika, and to Hannah Chait, who I think we'll be hearing much more from in the years to come. Hannah, you reach with your music in the depths of soul as only music can and communicated the message. And to each of you who took time out of your invaluable Sundays to show up today on this miserable, cloudy, rainy day, thank you for coming. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here. And Rex, to you for doing this. Hats off to you, my friend and colleague. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Much love to all of you.
So thank you, Tom, for coming out. And I just, a little additional good news, Johnny just told me that the online donation page has already crossed $6,000. So that's good. And the money raised today will also go into that, so that's not including anything raised today. So, you know, nice, way to go. It's really cool. It's great to see this. And again, the thing that I keep coming back to here is just seeing people come together like this is such a great thing. I mean, to see people rush in when there is, something that needs to be addressed, something that needs to be dealt with, someone who needs to be honored, anything like that is just amazing. And now we have, I believe, some students from local schools who are going to be coming up. And I'm not exactly sure what the order of that's going to be, but